Aha! I think we're live. All right. I'm sipping two things: Snapple Peach and Smart Water. I think this stream will be 0.005% more intelligent than the last one because of the Smart Water. I think. Brother Al Schlesinger, how the hell are you? I'm glad you could make it. And I put a toy aside for you, just for you, a battery toy that I wasn't even going to show, but the usual stuff. I decided to squeeze in a live stream because it's just been crazy. I got, I think, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 construction projects planned or going on at the same time. So it's freaking brutal. And expensive. I got some cool unboxing today. And if you notice behind me, I have some really cool stuff back there. They're huge. I haven't ever made a video on these jumbo machinders. That's what they are. I should have put that in the title, but these are some of the rarest ones. I only had the one out, and I said, you know what, let me take the other two. Hopefully they won't fall over and break the other things to hell, but I'm taking the chance. Ooh, what happened? Come on, King Banana Head. How dare you stop? But, you know, before we get rolling, I do got some newsy stuff going on. Ooh, yeah. So the market is tanking, it seems like. Oh, excuse me. Ooh. Sneezing. Dang. I let the song go to the end. As usual, I let a few people roll in here. Sleazy P bobblehead? That's cool. You know, Guar was on Beavis and Butthead. There's an episode with Guar, you know, when they show the videos. It was pretty cool. And they loved Guar. Beavis and Butthead loved Guar. Oh, hell, tomorrow is the South Park, the Panderverse episode, where they're going to race and gender swap all the main characters, I think except for Kyle. So that'll be fun. I can't wait. I can't wait to see that. You know, speaking of seeing, what movie did I just see? Oh, the one with Denzel Washington, The Equalizer 3. And it was confusing, a little confusing, because it was done by an Italian director. So a lot of it was in Italian, which I understand sort of. Like my Italian, though, is mostly like heavily dialect from the South. So I have to really pay attention. And my wife kept saying, "What they say? What they say?" I'm like, well, I can't tell with you asking me, and with the proper Italian, I have to really like pay attention. So, you know, this is what I got to say about these movies. You know, and I like Denzel Washington, and there's no but on him. But you know, when you have these guys, all of them, like Stallone, the action people, because he was sort of an action guy. As they get older, you know, it's hard to buy into them taken down these hordes of villains at this point. It's kind of like, dude, you know what? I mean, you need to have like an army behind you. Like they're taking out entire cartels, mobsters, whatever. And they're like, 60 flabby, I mean, a little soft. I just can't buy into that. You know, I'm aged. I'm getting to be a seasoned citizen, but yet, I have all these skills that all these young, virile, well-built military men are going to succumb to. So I think when you get these older, like previous action stars, and I guess Stallone did it with the Expendables. There were some youth mixed into it, but I mean, you need to have that as a crutch almost because it's almost as unbelievable as the little 100-pound women beating up all the huge guys when they try the female empowerment angle. Anyway, so that was as far as what did I give it? Probably like I don't know, 5.5 to 6 out of 10. It was all right for what it was, but um, not the greatest Denzel Washington movie. Now, before I get into like toy stuff, I always have to ramble on about some stuff. I was watching this Scott Adams stream a few days ago, and he gets really triggered if people like bitch about the sound on his streams. I don't know why. So 2 days in a row, he cut the stream, and he was having like this horrific echo. I had that happen once. I had the video playing, and it gives you the infinite feedback loop. Yeah, I'm going to put this as a better background. Anyway, so he gets like really, really ornery. The wonder of it all. And yes, let me read. Al, you're right. They would have to wits and tricks. He does sort of on that movie, but I don't want to get sidetracked. I'll go back to that. But um, anyway, he cuts the stream off twice because I was distracted. I almost forgot what I was saying. And I'm thinking, dude, look, you get so triggered by people that comment, and they're like accurate comments. If your sound is sucking and you don't like people that just point it out and you kill the stream, I mean, you're hawking your book almost every stream, pretty much all the streams. And these people, like some of them have bought your book, dude. Now, I know they're not on your locals, they're not paid subscribers, but a lot of them may have bought your book. Why the hell are you cutting off your customers? You need to chill out, Scott. Chill out. Why do you care? I mean, like, if somebody came on here and was trolling me all the time saying, your sound sucks, your sound sucks. Well, if nobody else mentioned it, I would just be like, yeah, whatever. That or block them, one or the other. It's no big friggin' deal. Anyway, and what else? Two things before I get into some, like collectible crap. Which one should go first? All right. Well, I'm going to have a guitar unveiling for you guitar fans. I got two more freaking awesome freaking guitars. And I'll have to do a live stream from the house because this is all I will reveal. They were sold as a set. You can only get them as a set. Now, I suppose people that buy them can split them up. But I don't think anyone did. Hair Juicer, what's going on, man? Nice of you to join. So, in these guitars, the case for one of them weighs 75 freaking pounds, just the case. Now, what's awesome about this case is you could actually display the guitar in the case. It was designed that you could open it and the guitar, and there's a cool accessory that comes with it. So it's designed where you can have the certificate, and this is what I will reveal. I won't tell you who the artist was. You could guess, though. Um, one of the guitars was partially hand painted by this rock god, and the other part of it, the other guitar was signed in his 1960s script. So, yeah, and now here's where it gets crazy. The guy did not want to ship them because they were expensive. I couldn't get proper insurance through like FedEx or UPS. So he came down from Ohio. He flew them down. He bought 3 tickets, so each guitar had a seat. The case he had to ship to me. So he shipped a heavy 75-pound case. He shipped the empty box for the other case. Well, the 75-pound case had its own box. Then he shipped the other box, which I kind of didn't put 2 and 2 together because I get 2 boxes and I'm thinking there's something else in there. Then I get this empty box, but it was the original numbered box. I was like, oh, crap. He screwed me. He sent me an empty box. But then I realized he didn't need to because the other guitar was in the original case that he was carrying. So he had 3 seats on the plane. I had to have a driver pick him up at the airport. He came all in one day. I gave him a quick tour of the museum. Then we went right to the house. He did a quick tune of the guitars. We moved them to where temporarily they're going to stay, and that was it. And then he flew back the same day. And the driver actually had lunch with us. So it was driver and Christy, too. She was with us. So it was crazy. But now I got like my fledgling guitar collection is up to 3. I'm still looking for a couple more. But maybe I should learn to play, right? That would be kind of useful. You're going to collect something like that. Anyway, and speaking of collectible, somebody got to tell Sticks to put that Trump bot on his live streams. Remember, I gave him that little Trump robot. He did a whole video on the swag that I gave him. I was thinking he was going to put that robot on the on his videos. So I don't know if he forgot it in Vermont. So I don't know what happened to that. Anyway, what else is on here? Yeah, and the other thing, me, like I don't like paying for monthly services. I'm always like ragging about that. Now, I decided to like beef up my own MP3 collection, right? I had bought, now you may have heard this a couple of months ago. I bought, whether I did it on a video or a live stream, I don't remember. I bought maybe like, I don't know, 20, 30 CDs, just music that I like. And I was just going to burn them, maybe put them on my phone, put them on my iTunes, that crappy service. And then I realized, these new computers, none of them have an optical drive on them. I'm like, damn it. Now I had to go buy an external CD drive. So I'm looking at external. I mean, you don't realize how antiquated this stuff is until you start looking. So I'm looking at external drives, and most of them are combos, CD, DVD. Then I'm like, do I want Blu-ray? Because you could do like burners now and burn them on the Blu-rays. And you go on freaking Amazon. I'm telling you, you start looking and you read the reviews. Is there anything that's not a total pile of crap? I mean, even if, I don't know how their review things works. Now, a lot of people tell me, don't look at the 1s, don't look at the 5s, look at the 3s. Well, a lot of these don't have a lot of 3s. They're either like 1s or 5s, and the ones that give you the 1 stars, they're so convincing, man, that I have analysis paralysis. I can't buy anything. And they're cheap, man. They're like between $30 and $100. And I can't just like pull the trigger because I read these horror stories. It's not compatible with Windows 10. It you need another software to run it. You need this. I'm like, son of a, I can't believe like it's so difficult in today's age to do anything. And you see all this crap, the flaws, the problems, because you got thousands of people that comment on this stuff. Anyway, let me go to the guitar comments real quick here. Yeah, that first Les Paul was freaking awesome. These two are going to be like spectacular too, though. But I'd have to say that one's still in a league of its own. I mean, Jimmy Page, for what it's worth, I may have mentioned this when Jeff Beck passed away. His stuff more than doubled, and Jeff Beck had nowhere near the influence that Zeppelin did. So, and not that I want him to, but Page hasn't played in a long time. I think he's got arthritis at this point. He's going to be 80 next year. When he passes, his stuff is going to absolutely explode in value. So, and not that it's, the stuff's already very expensive now, but I can only imagine. Let's see, Alvi. You're at rhythm guitar level. Well, I got to try that. I could strum a few chords. I used to, self-teach, so I could do chords and some notes and stuff, and actually, started by reading, but then I just kind of lost interest. Then I went into like trying to hack the drums. But it's time is always the thing, time and commitment. That's the two things I don't have. So we'll see where it goes. Now, speaking of reviewing all this crap, when you're trying to buy something on Amazon and you can't help but look at these reviews and like say, what the F, how do I make up my mind when everyone has a horror story? There literally is nothing you can buy. I don't care if it's a toaster, a freaking lawnmower, that you don't have hundreds of pissed off people that are like having nightmares with this, with whatever product it is. Now, speaking of thousands, so I have a group that I started on Facebook, and mainly because I was in this other local beach group in my area here. It was actually in the Jacksonville beaches, and I would just put like some joke stuff on there, and the guy was a real a-hole, a total a-hole. So I would get in kind of like arguments because I don't know, like he was like an authoritarian lefty, right? And he didn't like any, and I wasn't even like political, but even jokes he would have a hard time with. And I used to have like, posts that had 1,000 likes and this. So one day I posted something and we got into like a dialogue, and it was like, I was like, screw you, dude, I'll post what I want. And so he booted me out of the group because he was like the dictator. And I started, and at that time, I think it had like, I don't know, 20,000 members. So I started my own group on Facebook for the area that I live in geographically, the beaches. And it started off really slow. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not going to be a hard on it. If people want to put something political, I don't care. What do I care? Let people flame each other. It doesn't bother me. But believe it or not, people tend not to even do that. They're so programmed by Facebook. Facebook is got like the hammer down on political posts that, people just are reluctant. I think a lot of stuff has gotten suppressed over the years. So anyway, now that group has grown to over 3,100 people, which I didn't expect, and it's been growing a lot. Like literally every day I have to approve dozens of people. I don't know what happened, but it's like there's been an explosion of interest in it. And the other difference between my group is I tell people a lot of groups will not let you post businesses, right? And with good reasons, because there's a marketplace for it. But I'm like, you know what? If you're in the local area, I don't care if you want to post an introduction one time, just one friggin' time, because, then or else it looks like spam and it takes over everything. Like my lawn service, go to my lawn service, go to my, here's my hairdresser. I used to have that, like this lady would post like every other day, freaking hair that she does, like pictures of like, it's probably stock photos of women in hair thing. So I said, you could put one, introduce yourself, though, and just say, hey, I'm such and such. This is my business, as opposed to some generic ad, because then I don't even know if I could vet it properly. Put where you are, your phone number. But so I noticed like the scams. I'm just going to make you aware of this. This is almost so that you are aware of this, if you're not already, because a lot of it is common sense. And before I go into that, yes, my sons. Well, if I keep these guitars, because they're very pricey, then my one son's a guitarist, so the one that I play his King Banana Head song all the time here. And actually, he did if you look, he did an album. Let me kind of compose it himself. I think it's this one right here called the Seafaring EP. That's because my older brother gave him like a 1980s keyboard. And he was just flipped out, like making video game music now and recreating songs from the 80s video game stuff. He loves that kind of stuff. So I'll leave this on the background. And look, he uses one of my background photos too. Anyway, so they could also say this song was recorded on this guitar. Yep, that's true. And by the way, speaking of this music stuff, Julian's is having an auction with guitars, and one of them is The Fool. I don't know if I mentioned it. I think I did last time. So if I can get these guitars vetted, like make sure they're authentic, there's some cool stuff. I don't think I would bid on that because they expect it to be like $1 million to $2 million. I like Clapton, but not enough that I'd spend that much. That's to me like Beatles, Zeppelin, Hendrix territory. That's about the only three, maybe David Gilmour, Pink Floyd stuff. That's about the only 4 areas where I would even sniff bidding on stuff like that. So anyway, in the group, I'm going to tell you like the worst scams, and they're obvious, but like I have to say them because they're so damn annoying. You get like these people that have these fake air duct cleaning businesses, and they're from literally like all over the world. They have fake profiles. I don't know if they're robots, whatever. Fake friends, and they'll put like DM me. We'll clean your air ducts. DM me. It's like we have 3 appointments available. That and these mobile car detailing scams, and it's all like DM me your inbox. And at first, like, you don't even know. You have to really get into the profiles. And as the only admin of this group, I literally go in there and I check, and you could tell because they'll have like, you could tell they're foreigners too, because their friends on their Facebook friends, they're usually like 2 first names, the guys or the girls, like John James, Marie Christine, John. I mean, literally, this is the name. And they'll have 100 fake names like this, and they all like each other's stuff. It's just pathetic. So I always ban them. And same with the mobile detailers. And some of them you'll see like all of a sudden, they're not even that sophisticated or bright. They'll have like friends in Pakistan or Nigeria. And then, they'll have like, 10 Europeans. And then all of a sudden it's all Nigeria, Pakistanis and stuff like that. And it's a scam. So actually yesterday they had a profile, this young girl. It's always like a young, cute girl, the lone picture. And it happened, with a young, this is a different one. So she literally took a flyer of an event that was in the town local. And I looked at her profile. She had 25 friends, which is unusual, right? 'Cause a young, attractive girl would usually have like 1,000 friends. It's just because that's how high school is, right? Or college or both. So I'm looking, she has 25 friends. They're all like these young, attractive girls, and they all have like a small number of friends. I'm like, this doesn't look right. And she posts this event, which the event looked innocuous, and it looked like a legitimate local event to help wounded warriors. And I'm like, yeah, like this girl really gives a crap about wounded warriors. And then I looked at, she put a link. Oh, if you want to register for this event, which wasn't even on the flyer. I looked at the link, clicked it, and it was a freaking phishing, scam. It was like you could log in with your Facebook ID. It was so blatant, So then I saw it was in 3 other groups, so I warned the admins, and I'm like, that was a sophisticated scam because, like if you click that and you log in with your Facebook profile, they would hack your account. And then I noticed 2 seniors in this. Now, remember, I'm in North Florida, probably like 6-hour drive from Miami. And there's like 2 seniors in this area, in this group that were like posting Taylor Swift tickets for sale in Miami. DM me. I'm like, no, this isn't legitimate. So I go into the profiles, and what I noticed was that these women had posted years ago, like 2016 was the most recent post, and somebody obviously got into their account, hacked it, and now they were trying to like pawn this scammy, Taylor Swift. So I had to ban them too. But anyway, these are the perils of the web, and when you have thousands of people in a group, seeing those thousands of reviews always on Amazon for every product, it kind of reminded me of that. So that's it on that. And I'm going to see if I could pull this up. And let me see these. Did I have? Yeah, I had a couple of guitars, but when I met you, I had guitars, but, my son was, they were young, so he was playing, and he had a bunch of guitars at that time too. The housing market is tough to say because now this is just my opinion. Don't take it as any advice because I don't want anyone to make any decision based on what I say. And I'm still looking for land. I'm still looking for the bug out place where, just in case WW3 hits and we have EMPs and shortages, I would like to have, some MRE stashed and, growable food. But here's why the interest rates, from what I see, haven't affected the housing market, because there's still a shortage of supply. So if there's a shortage of supply, the demand is going to keep the prices up. Now, can that change? I mean, it's possible, but what are you going to put your money in right now? These rates, while people, bitch and moan, Al, you might remember, and other people on here, both Al's and Hair Juicer, you might know this, and anyone else watching. These rates historically are still fairly low because, I grew up in an era when they had 12, 13% mortgage rates and 14, 15% student loans. And what did they have? I think they had CDs that were like 20%. Some crazy, crazy stuff when Carter was president. So by historic standards, these rates are not like that terrible. It was only because we had zero rates for so long. So I don't think that housing, like if you had money to invest right now, real estate's probably one of your safer bets. And even if it's not, I'd still rather own property than not own it. At the end of the day, people always need a place to live. They always need food and they always need a place to live. So, and regardless of what happens with the value, it's how I feel. In the long run, it's always a pretty safe investment. So I'm going to try to scroll through here, see if I can find this. Just bear with me here. All right, here it is. I'm going to put this. It's a little longer than a short, so I couldn't put it on YouTube, but I'm just going to, I've talked about it so much, but I went through a lot of my Batman toys, so I want to show you this video. These are some of the Batman toys from Heritage. Now, those vinyls are the only vinyls that are on the card that I've ever seen. I know it's kind of hard to make out some of this stuff. I'd even post it, but I have no music for it. So I either have to cut some of these out. It's 15 seconds over for a short. I did put this on Facebook, though. That orange car I've never seen before. It's plastic, but it's rare as hell. That Target game I've never seen before. I've talked to a lot of Batman experts that have never seen some of this stuff. That ray gun. I actually have two of those, and I have a lot of artwork for these toys too. And that's the robot that posted today in the short. And that's the wind-up Batman robot. So that's some of the stuff that came out of Heritage. I wanted you to see that because I had that stack over there. I'm pointing in. See, my left, your right, probably. Now, while the screen's a little bigger, let me also show you. I've talked about these jumbo machinders. So let me start with this guy. I don't want to knock this over. God forbid, I don't want John to say, "You're going to break TikTok again?" So that's TikTok there. John, if and when you watch this, TikTok is fully repaired. I showed you that last time. So here, this guy's called Lensari. Let's get him nice and big. Let me go back a little bit. See how big he is? So this guy was the most expensive jumbo machinder at Mandarake. He sold for 5.5 million yen. Loose. No box. So, and this isn't where I'm going to keep them. 5.5 million yen. What was that? 40,000 maybe? 40,000. Yeah, I have a case for jumbo machinders here. I haven't really talked about him a lot, but this guy is, I'll show you the back. because I don't think I'm ever going to make videos on these guys. So I'm just going to show you. These are something like Come and See 'Em. So it's about 2 feet tall, maybe. So that's Lensari. Don't fall on TikTok here. And this guy, I forgot his name, but he came from Mandarake auction as well, and I have him boxed. Not the same auction, but he's really cool too. And they are robots, by the way. These are like mechanical villains. I think they fought Kamen Rider, and you can see they have like a mechanical apparatus. Like that Lensari, he shot balls, shot balls. I have a couple more. I just put some of the cooler ones. You can see that if you look closely, they're riveted. Well, you know, patterns of rivets. And this guy actually, what he does is his heads shoot out. I really dig this guy. And I do have the original box for him. He's Series 2. Series 1 and Series 2 came out around the same time. I believe these were around 1973, so 50 years old now. Yeah, I love the faces on this guy. So these two heads shoot out as projectile, as kind of like bombs. And then this guy back here, let me see if I can, well, that's called Douglas M2, I believe. You can see the size. I don't want to pull him out because he's literally touching the TV. He's tight into the frame. He's also boxed. And there's the box over there. That was actually owned by somebody that owns a pretty big toy company in the U.S. And I forgot why he decided to part with it. But so Douglas is the Series 1. They're came out first, but they came out around the same time. Series 1 came out and then Series 2. And that one, when he shipped it to me, because that was like his highlight, he had these custom cases made. So they're in acrylic boxes made specifically for that toy. I don't know that I would leave it in there. I kind of would, because he actually fits behind, like in between that space between that frame and the TV. But then the box is about an inch too big. And if I could tuck them behind there, like, it actually looks kind of cool. I like the height that they give as opposed to some of these smaller little things. So I just said, you know what, for this live stream, I'll put them out here. I actually like the size of them. They kind of, they look good. You need big things like that to have some kind of visual impact. So those are some of the jumbo Machinders. I only have like a handful, but of the rarest ones, of the rarest of the rare. And yeah. Now, I wanted to show you real quick. This is the Heritage Auction. If you want to talk about some crazy prices. So, we're going by the most expensive stuff. And let me make sure I didn't miss any comments here. So the most expensive thing they sold was this screen-used X-Wing. I guess it was screen-used, and it's got R2-D2. The thing sold, this is with the buyer's premium, $3.135 million, with an M, a million bananas, which is freaking crazy, absolutely crazy. What could you say? I mean, this is the model that they use. It's one of the, I think, the only one that was motorized, servo-controlled. I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch. I knew that this was going to go crazy. So now, this is I think the only full surviving screen-matched Stormtrooper costume. I've seen the helmets go for 150-ish to 175, maybe 200. So this whole costume sold for $645,000, which is crazy, crazy, crazy. One of the pieces that I probably should have considered, this is 2001 Space Odyssey, one of the full original astronaut costumes. I'm sort of glad I didn't. I do have a toy called Astro Man with Sparks. It's orange, and it was based 100% on this toy. As a matter of fact, it looks like this costume almost exactly, the helmet, the stripes on the body. However, I was told by a collector that the last one sold, I think, at a Christie's auction for like $50,000. Now, it might have been 10 to 15 years ago. But, you know, is it worth 10 times the amount? I don't know. This is what we have going on with the inflation for the people running the show. Yeah, I know. It would have. I only got one thing out of this auction, and it was fairly cheap, $1,500. It was the Salt Vampire from the original Star Trek series. It's actually not a mask, it's the casting, so I could technically make masks out of it if I poured some latex over it. And part of the problem I had was that I didn't realize the auction started, and I missed out. I wanted some Forbidden Planet stuff, and that Forbidden Planet stuff went fairly cheap, so that was just a screw up on my part. And then the other thing is, you know, these movie props, I sort of like, you know, they look good in pictures and in film, but in practice, when you have them in front of you, they kind of look crappy, to be honest with you. So the treads for this is the Lost in Space robot. The original treads are original. I mean, I don't know how many of these they made. $350,000 for just the feet, the treads. Now, my prediction is that whoever bought this, there's a couple of pieces. Here's one of the miniatures from Star Trek, the Galileo shuttlecraft. And we'll skip down. This is, what is this? Collection of documents from Star Trek, the original. Another miniature model used in Star Trek, $200,000. Here's a phaser. Now, what was it? The week before I was watching this other auction, and supposedly Nichelle Nichols' phaser only sold for like $60,000. So that would have been a steal, and I kind of regret that I didn't bid on that. I just didn't have a sense of where these were going to go, so I thought maybe these would have been cheaper. I should have known better. And supposedly, the one that was sold by the other auction company the week or days before was authenticated by Greg Jean, who this was all his stuff. So it is what it is, man, you know. But again, if you look at these close up, they look, you know, cracked, old. I know it's history, supposedly, but I'll always say the way these companies have sort of trashed these IPs, you know, I don't like what they've turned into, say, like Star Wars. And I mean, the good thing is that you have the original, but where they ended up, like Disney Star Wars, for instance, or Paramount's newest Star Trek, is garbage. So they're tainted, in my opinion. The legacy is, at least. Here's one of the original tricorders. This I bid on. I was actually up to, I think I bid over $100,000 on this, believe it or not. This is the miniature from Lost in Space, the actual chariot. It does have the B9 robot in it. Right after it went, I was, you know, sent emails, you know, offer the buyer, but I was just like, you know what? I'm good at where I bid, and I think it's cool, but you know, I have the full-size robot. I'm happy with that. Communicator, kind of cool. $150,000 though. Yeah. Greg Jean cleaned up. I mean, he would have been happy. Here's some uniforms from Shatner. This is the mask from Commando Cody. That's kind of cool. Another tricorder, 112. Here's our first Batman thing. A Batarang that folds, $106,000. I mean, these prices are crazy. I mean, you know, you gotta really like Batman. This was cool. This is original artwork that was ultimately used in the poster of 2001 Space Odyssey. Went for $106,000. Some more Shatner uniforms. Another communicator, which is like the precursor to cell phones, everyone says. I'd have to look, though. I mean, there's probably other sci-fi movies even before that TV series. Here's a Buck Rogers miniature, 100 grand. Some more William Shatner. William Shatner uniforms are by far the highest price. This is all Shatner. First one, these are just under 100,000. Here's a Klingon ship for 93. Another shuttlecraft from Star Trek Voyager. More. Here's a Patrick Stewart. Finally, you get Jean-Luc Picard. Picard. And I never watched, other than the original Star Trek series, I didn't really watch the other ones. So I may have seen a couple of episodes, so I can't say much about them. So I'm just showing you the highlights here. Here's a hero Cylon from Battlestar Galactica. Remember Battlestar Galactica? Yeah, that was like a total cash-in on the Star Wars frenzy that was going on at the time. And Greg G made props too, so these are, I think, some of his props. So here's just, Star Trek really kicked ass. And then we'll go one more. There was one other internal piece of the B9 robot, and here's a stunt phaser. Went for 43. I guess the stunt is not like the hero. They're batarangs. I'm not into the prop market, so I couldn't tell you what justifies the price of one prop over the other. The uniforms are cool. I probably would have gotten one Forbidden Planet uniform if I would have caught the frickin' auction in time. Here's an original, supposedly original blaster. So this is something I definitely would have bid on, but too late. And I have two of these full size, and one of them's from Osaka Tin Toy, though, so it's not like I don't have them. I have two. But yeah, I would have liked the original one. I think this has one reproduction part in it. I'm not big in clothes that could get moth-eaten and deteriorate. This helmet from 2010, the year we made contact, it looks almost like the one from 2001 Space Odyssey. Here's a Bat One license plate, 27,500. Oh, why do I hear? What's this? No. Hold up. Why am I hearing Zeppelin? I gotta make sure it. Where's that coming from? Oh, I see here. Let me get that out. There we go. Don't want to get a copyright claim. Auto plays song remains the same. How weird is that? No, they're not listening. What's on back here? Skip survey, for the love of God. Oh my God. There. Put my fish back on. There we go. All right. What am I going to go down to? One more page after this. A lot of this guy had so much Star Trek stuff. It's crazy. So this begs the question, because I think he passed away. Do you sell this stuff while you're alive and you can enjoy the money, or do you wait until, years after and let somebody else do it for you? That is the question. Look at this. Star Trek hot set. No smoking on the set. And that sign sold for 22,000 big ones. And if you like something that looks like a giant tick, here's the piece for you. Color transparencies, and so that's it. That's pretty much that. And so that was the highlights. The only prop that I have is the flying saucer that was used on the. I may have other that I don't remember, but I have the huge flying saucer that was used on the Dick Van Dyke Show. The Uni Ufits episode, which you can watch the whole episode on YouTube, and it's getting restored to original condition by my coin-op restore. So hopefully he'll get that done one day. And I told him, hurry up, because Dick Van Dyke is 96, and I wanted him to come to Florida from California and autograph it for me. But um, I don't know if we're going to make it in time. I don't want to be selfish, but it was one of his most famous episodes, and I wonder I would pay his expenses. Dick, can you come and autograph this flying saucer? I wonder if he remembers it. I mean, I don't know how lucid he is at 96. I mean, my dad's 95 and he's got all his marbles. So I have a toy that I'm not going to I don't need to unbox. It's already unboxed. But Al, I put this aside for you because I knew you'll appreciate this. I actually got the toy first, and then somebody offered me the box for it, which was pretty cool. So here is dun 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 dun. The Cutie Cook, the rare Cutie Cook. I think this is might be the rarest, and then his head goes back and forth. Bump 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 bump. The rare Cutie Cook for my whimsy battery toy collectors. And then after I won it, somebody's like, "Hey, you want this box?" I'm like, "Sure," and I got the box for it. Now, Al, before I look at the or think about the other B9 thing, I've seen the pig, the hippo, and obviously the elephant. I've never seen the bear, so you might know. Have you ever seen the bear Cutie Cook? I want some confirmation. Did they actually make a bear or not? Let me go back to see if I could show you the other, if they had it, the other B9. It was just the inside of the dome. I don't know if I missed it or it just didn't sell for a ton of money. It was basically that metal. Oh, is this it here? Here you go, right here. This is the other one. Sold for big cooking pork chop, sweet. Yeah, I know, right? Cannibals. That's what I always say. They're cannibals. And they are cannibals in real life. A pig will eat a pig. Those wild hogs, they'll eat pigs. A lot of animals commit, they commit, what do you call it when you kill your young? I mean, I've seen, the lions will kill their young, especially rogue males. The gorillas, I've seen gorillas kill young and eat them. But anyway, this is the Hero Brain and miscellaneous robot parts sold for 15,000. So this is what I was saying. I have a feeling that whoever purchased those treads and this piece here, that the purchaser, right? He spent how much were those treads? I forgot, but he'll probably build a full robot and say this is the only surviving original B9, and and he'll say like I don't know what could you say with the feet and this dome part, maybe 20% original, but that's my guess. I mean, maybe he'll just display them like they are. But I have a feeling he would try to put it together. Maybe find something that he can claim. Oh, that's the original claw or whatever. I don't know. Um, if you if you say that it's in Brian Moran's book, I'm going to get it out next time and check it out. So I want to see. I've never seen it. We will see. We will see. All right. So now I have some unboxing, some serious as we end the stream. The moment everyone likes, or most people. I got to decide what I want to open. All right. This is Osaka robot. Oh, well, what the hell is in this thing? Hold on. I gotta. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. So there's two prototypes there. I'll put those till later. So first we're gonna go. This is a model, a rare robot model. Let's get out the old blade. All this stuff came from Japan, directly from, believe it or not, from the Osaka Tin Toy Archives. The president. You know what I think they're saying in their head? You know what? I'm old. I'm going to sell this crap to whoever pays me the most. and that's it. They're not going to wait to be like 6 feet under, like some of these collections that you see. Check this out. Rare kit. I like the original rare kits. I don't display any of them. I don't have the room, but I got a ton of them, especially the Tetsugen ones. But this is, and if John sees this, if he's on, he can tell me what the name is. But here is one of the rare original kits from the 60s or 70s called Samson with no Goliath. How cool is that? Look, there's even a flying saucer there. Make this a little bigger. Boom, boom, boom. Samson. Check this out on the. I'm curious what it looks like on the inside. What the hell? That's so weird. It's got Looney Tunes. Look at this. It's got Sylvester the cat and who's that? Speedy Gonzalez. How friggin' weird is that? Why would you put Sylvester the cat with this robot? That's bizarre. I've never seen anything like that. Has a appears to be a remote. So wow. And I do want to show you this. It's also even still bagged in there. Midori plastic model. Huh? That's pretty freaking cool. Wow. What would make them want to put what would make them want to put Sylvester and Speedy Gonzalez with this friggin' Samsung I guess they put it on the box. Yeah, I didn't even see it on the side. That's bizarre, man. That is bizarre, but I'll take it. For me, it adds to the charm. Put it back in its plastic for now. Back there. This thing says Atom wind up, Big X wind up in box. So let's see what is really in here. I'm waiting for the one live stream where I slip, and you guys will have the pleasure of watching me call 911 and the ambulance cart me away. It's happened before. When I was making a box once, my X-Acto slipped, and I don't know if you can see it there. 17 stitches. Cut this thing deep. They actually did nerve damage too. And I remember I got to the hospital, and they're like, questioning, was it an accident? No, no, I was trying to self-delete by slicing my finger. I mean, it was really weird because that's the first thing they think of. All right, so I'm o- I'm only going to show you these boxes because I think the toys are somewhere else. So this is an Atom wind up. I'm going to leave it in like this for now, but you get the gist. And this is Big X. Remember? Oh no, W. This is W. Yeah, W. Wait, let's see. No, no, no. This is a Big X wind up. Yeah, big, I couldn't even see, but no, it's the Big X. Big X was the superhero like Captain America that used to have to take injections every time he wanted to do his superhero stuff until the Japanese said, "Hey, you know what? We don't like this. It might promote like drug use." Okay. So let's see here. Hmm. So here's a prototype. Again, this came straight out of Osaka. Now, this is, I think, static, doesn't do anything. And they put it in this crappy box. They should have made a custom box for it, but they wrote on it cockpit, so I guess I have to save it. I don't even know kind of like what the deal is with this, but so it's a white cockpit robot, I guess in this style with the cylindrical head and the astronaut in there. And my understanding again is that this is static. It doesn't have its rotatomatic features, but I could be wrong. I'll have to double check when I take them out completely out of the box, but I don't want to have you watch me unpack all this like tissue that's in here. But that is my recollection that this is static. However, having said that, this the last one of the day, as we wind up the stream, this is a cool prototype that actually works. It might be vintage. So let's see. Let's see. And as we near the end of the stream, if there's anything on anybody's mind, you let me know. We can talk about it. Oh, see, the market is doing terrible as I expected. You know, the company I love to hate, Disney, had this like very brief rebound, and now their stock is back, hovering up almost 80 or under. So I knew it was not going to last their recovery because they make crap content now. They're so tainted. All right, this is pretty cool looking. This is a prototype. Could be vintage. I'll see. This is really packed well. I'll have to go in my prototype cabinet. And this stuff is coming from the collection of Nobu Direct, I believe. No, Knights of Old, how are you? No, I don't have that one. Right now, I'm sticking with strictly the early, like 73, the original ones. The original, the most rare, the most valuable ones. That's kind of, I work my way from like the top of the pyramid down. This way, um, I feel like conquer the best, and it'll be easier to fill it in as I go down. Oh, this one's a little, looks like it got a little, there we go. All right, check this out. I've never seen a color combination like this. Never seen that blue used before. Never seen the shoulders with this. I could be wrong though. So here's a prototype. No. Well, believe it or not, even at 25, it's less than the other ones that I bought. But having said that, I'll look for it. Oh, it's an actual ride? Oh, you're saying like a kid, it's that big. Um, well, this, there we go. So here is I don't know how to date this, if it's old, but it's supposedly another working prototype TV. We'll see when I put batteries in and turn it on. Put it here. Um, if I could have somebody professionally videograph stuff, that would be kind of cool. So I had a professional photographer here, the artist that designed my shirt. She's also a photographer. She publishes a couple of books. She does Hop Up Magazine every year. And we we're trying to get books out first, and she took thousands of pictures and didn't even get through the main case, believe it or not. That's how much stuff is in here. So it's sort of difficult to like get through everything. Um, the purpose of the books would be like to have smaller, almost like pamphlet sized books that are easy to sell, easy to ship, cheap, where we focus on certain segments of the collection. It could be tin robots first. It could be character guys like Gigantor, Speed Racer, Astro Boy, or combine all the characters and then eventually do a huge coffee table book. So um, yeah, coffee table book at the end. But I mean, my collection is very focused. So there's going to be things, for instance, if I did the battery toys, I'm not going to have like every variation of the bartenders. There's holes. The holes are like minor stuff, but like, it just depends like the breadth and depth that people would like. I mean, it's not going to be like Kitahara's that has 10,000 pieces. I don't buy like the common stuff. I don't have I mean, I have some celluloid, but not a lot. I don't have a lot of pre-war stuff, and that's by design. So, um, but it would be like just this is what the collection is, right? So I focus on what I have, and what I have though is cool and rare and unique. And I think probably like I would say my character stuff is the most complete character tins right now on the planet. I think I have probably better, and then also the condition too. So yeah, it's definitely a consideration though, and I'm gonna have to look for that Spazer ship. But again, if you get into like, so like Kitahara never got into like the Machinders, for instance. So I have like probably six of the rarest ones right now. Um, I could add common, but it's space is an issue, and do I want to add 20 more Machinders just to say that I have them? I mean, like to me, they have to appeal to me aesthetically. These early ones from like '73, the first two series appealed to me. Then I think I'd get like related stuff like Kamen Rider ones and stuff like that. When you start getting into like the later '70s or '80s, I don't know, because I just I kind of my cutoff is around like the Star Wars era, unless it's tin stuff that Osaka made and things like that. So we will see where it goes, but also the museum expansion, and keep in mind, I have also the kiddie rides, fortune tellers, arcade stuff that is unique to this type of collection. So I think that'll wrap it up for today, my friends. I think we hit an hour, and I'm like running out of steam, and I have things I got to do. But yeah, Robbie is scheduled to arrive this fall. He's the one I'm probably the most excited for. I mean, if I had my choice, it would have been the first one that I got. I mean, for obvious reasons. I mean, I have a lot of Robbie toys. Um, Gort, I don't think they made a Gort robot, tin robot until like the 90s or 2000s. Um, and yeah, that's true. Nice. You're right. Um, but I have to find nice ones. And I mean, I'm trying to so for instance, when you look at Lensari over there, there's six of those villains, original villains, um, in series two like that, and of course those had the Garada 7, which is like the rarest of the rare that nobody has. I mean, like Mandarake sold that box example that sold for well over 200,000. I think it was at 220, maybe close to a quarter of a million with the buyer's premium and shipping and insurance and all that. So to me, that's like the foundation that I like to build is have those original six, then have the series one, which I believe is like the Dublas, and then kind of work my way that way. Cause, I kind of like, again, want to conquer the rarest stuff first. And not saying that the other stuff isn't rare or valuable, because it is, but that's just the way I like to work because it just makes it easier. Um, but, if they come up, though, in a way that I like and the conditions there and, you're right though. It's good to have some context, and but look, I'm also mindful. I see how the jumbo collectors are. They're like more insane than I am. I mean, they got walls and walls of this, and I'm kind of like these things are big. They take up a lot of room, and I'm very mindful. I don't want to get into that situation where like I'm now sitting on you know 100 of these things with nowhere to go and no place or no method to display them. So that's the other thing. But anyway, uh, I think that's sort of kind of I think we hit on everything that I was going to talk about today. So, um, look at this little crib note here. So, anyway, listen, as always, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate your time. And of course, everything that I unveil here eventually will be a video. I do want to remind everyone, since we're almost at the end of the month, whoever's watching this now or will watch it in the future, November, I'm going to have one short that's going to show all the automatons in Tibidabo, Spain. And then I have those 30 plus videos that are going to be the entire month of November is just going to be shorts showing those automatons. And if I do have some other toy videos made, but I may just put them into December. I'm just trying to get a break because I got so many projects going on. It's going to be tough to like deviate and stop and make toy videos. So that I'm kind of like front loading a lot of content now. So that'll be November. But if I have something that I want to show, there'll be like a proper toy video as a, in conjunction with those shorts. So with that, thanks again. I appreciate it. Everyone that joined. Your time is greatly, greatly appreciated. And with that, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace.